What's going on, YouTube? Pistol Pete here. I got to be kind of quiet. I got a sleeping baby in the other room, so I can't get too loud. I'm too excited, but just gonna talk a little bit today about my three uh, favorite manufacturers of blades, and then also three that I'm not so fond of. And when I say the three I'm not so fond of, it's not about quality or about materials used. It's strictly just going to be my personal opinion on why I just don't care for it too much. But before we get into that part, let's get into my three favorite manufacturers. I'm gonna start with number three and then go to my most favorite, which is number one. Okay, so first, it has to be, I should say, number three should have to be Tops. I freaking love Top knives. Um, they're obviously on the top three list for a reason. This one is the Skull Crusher by EJ Snyder. Just a bitchin' blade. I love they use mainly, I think almost all their knives, if not all, are 1095. High carbon steel. They're almost all about a 1/4 inch thick, and they're just badass. And I love their designs. They have all these different designs, different designers, and they come out with some unique stuff like this one here. Just awesome. I haven't had so far a Tops knife that I haven't liked. They're all bitchin'. The only reason why I made it to it's a number three of my favorite instead of two or one is because the powder, they only pretty much produce, other than this titanium looking finish, they always just do the black. And you know me about black finishes, I'm just not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of black coated knives because they get all shitted up and they start scraping away in the metal. I wish, like most manufacturers, I should say, I wish most manufacturers, most don't, but I wish they would give you an option, right? Even if you had to pay a little more, because I get it takes a little more time to do a satin finish or a polishing. It could even be just a rough satin. I prefer over the black coating, but give you an option. You want it black coated? Do you want it satin finish? That would be awesome if they gave you two different types to choose from. That'd be just great, and then Tops would probably bump up the list because I love Tops. I mean, when it comes to quality, they're one of the best. They're one of the best with their fit and finish and their toughness. You can see numerous reviews on YouTube regarding the toughness and the durability of these knives. And then when they do that differential heat treat, so it's a little bit softer on top than it is towards the edge. You got less vibrations when chopping. You just got more toughness, more room for flexibility, less chance of breaking, more of a spring to it. Just awesome, just awesome. They always use like Makita type scales. The Rocky Mountain tread. I'm not too much of a fan of the Rocky Mountain tread, but it doesn't bother me too much. It's more like some people bothers them a lot. For me, it doesn't bother me too much. I do like how they throw in the liners depending on what model you get. They either put blue, white, orange, red, which is awesome. It's a nice touch. I like when they do that. It makes the knife pop a little bit more. But dude, awesome. Let's move on. Number two, favorite manufacturer would have to be Cold Steel. And this one here is the Frontier buoy by Cold Steel. But Cold Steel, man, they've blown me away. I don't know how the quality is going to get. So far, I haven't been disappointed with the GSM taking over after Lim Thompson sold the company. But I think they're still putting out quality stuff. From what I've seen, everything that I've gotten has been quality. Even the new stuff. The old stuff, obviously, we all know is quality. This one here is 1085 high carbon steel. And just a beautiful buoy. I love the fat fullers. And what I love about Cold Steel is they're not afraid to take chances with their designs. Whether it's a beast, huge, big, crazy, gnarly folding knife or a big buoy like this. They also have the Wild West buoy. They're just awesome. And again, high quality. And what I love too about what Cold Steel is they stay affordable. Tops knives kind of are a little bit more high on the higher end. These ones here are a little bit cheaper, but they're still really high quality, They still hold up really well. They have an awesome heat treat. You just can't go wrong with a Cold Steel, really. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a big Cold Steel fanboy when it comes to that. I got probably about 50, 60 other folders, and I got pretty much all their big blades they offer, except the one I don't have is, I think, the Laredo and then the Natchez War Buoy. I don't have those two, but I have most of them, and love them. Absolutely love them. And they even have even their budget stuff is really good. I mean, you can get budget blades, fixed blades, and folders that are, you know, sub $50, and they're awesome. They hold up. You can see, so go back to some of my reviews and some of the ones I've done. I mean, with a folder, you could baton, you're chopping through stuff. The blade looks immaculate at the end. It still cuts paper. I mean, it's just really good heat treat. Okay, and number one has to be, and is, it took a while when I found the company to test their stuff out, but it's absolutely number one now for me. Who knows, maybe something change in the future, but for right now, it has to be the Work Tough Gear blades. This one here is the Puzon Wilderness Buoy, and this is the first generation Puzon Wilderness Buoy, but man, they use the SK85 steel on these, mainly almost all of them. They're starting to use different steels now and test the waters with different blades, but their heat treat is always on point. Most of my blades are the SK85 version, and I have no complaints. They sharpen up like crazy. They hold a great edge. Their heat treat is par none. They use pretty good stock, usually 1/4 inch thick. Got those red liners that pop. They offer different types of handles. Easy to remove, you know, if you need to replace them or anything like that. Just amazing. And what I talked about earlier with tops knives, which I think Vic Lynn is the main man over there at Work Tough, and I always bumble my thoughts up. I don't think he is the main man over at Work Tough. And what I love about him is he listens to his customers. You know, he takes everything as constructive criticism of anyone, and he has very little, because these knives are pretty badass. I mean, I have never had any really big issues with these, but he takes everything as a manufacturer should, right? Like, they don't take it by heart. Like, you know, if you tell them something, they're not gonna come at you and be like, well, then don't buy our stuff or get the hell out of here. No, they'll be like, okay, let me think about it. We'll see what we can do. There's things that I've seen people mention, including myself, like I've talked about. I said, hey, you know, a lot of people like the black coating, but also a lot of people love, I would say majority love satin finish and different types of finishes other than the black coated kind. And he started producing. So the new generation of these, the second gen, came out with he offered stonewash, the black coated, satin finish. I mean, all different types, you know, of different finishes on it. Oh, ghost finish. So he's giving you options for the same knife, which is awesome. I wish most knife makers did that. He's one of the only ones I know that does that. So you can get this Puzon Wilderness Buoy in whatever version you want. If you want a shiny satin polished version, you can get that. If you want it blacked out like this for more discreet carry, you can get it like this. And one thing I love about this one here is this one's not even a coating. This one's like a bluing, which I love. I love when they blue it more than a coating, because this you could chop all day and it doesn't really rub off, you know. And if so, all you do is you get a little bit of gun bluing and you reblue it wherever it's getting lighter, and it gets back to looking new. Unlike those coated finishes, those, like, I don't know what kind of texture coating they use as paint, it just gets like crap. Just wood particles and material gets caught up in it, and then you can see steel in between. It just makes the knife look like shittier faster, right? That's my big gripe. But going back to, like, so they just, you know, I've never ever have gotten a Work Tough Gear yet knife, even before after using that, I'm like, it's okay. It's not really. They all have super good ergonomics, and what I love too, they have designers that just put out just amazing work, stuff that it's you know, just unique stuff that you won't find in any other knife company making right now. So I mean, like I said, guys, hands down, my favorite manufacturing company is it has to be Work Tough. Has to be, and if they ever get into the folding knife game, forget it, dude. They're gonna blow a lot of companies out of the water, man, because their fixed blades, they already got fixed blades down to their EDCs, to these big chopper style buoys. They have it down. So now let's get into knife companies I'm not too fond of. And again, I'm probably gonna strike a lot of nerves here and hear a lot of shit in the comments below, but this is not, again, it's not because of any other reason. It's just my opinion. As far as, it's not going to be, I'm not shitting on them or nothing like that. I'm just saying I just personally don't like the look. I don't like the designs. I don't like the feel of them, because I had a couple. Not saying they're bad knives. Not saying they're bad materials. Not saying that you know, anything as far as that goes. This is personally for me and the way I feel is. So let's start off. So the three, and this is not in any particular order. This is just you know, it's all about even for me. Number one, it would be, it'd have to be Spyderco. And again, this is no just the top three, but I'm just saying number one for Spyderco. I just haven't been a fan of them. I know a lot of people love them; they're diehard fans, and but just the feel of them. I had one before and got rid of it. I can't stand that diamond shaped blades, or what do they call them, teardrop blade shape, or however you want to say it, with a big fat hole in it. I just never had the, never, and they feel, I know they're not, okay, before you leave all the hate comments, I know they're not bad material, but it feels like cheap material. It feels cheap in your hand, in my opinion, the ones I've held. I think it was I tried the paramilitary, I think it was, and I had a couple other ones I just didn't like. I was like, so I ended up selling them or trading them. I mean, it doesn't feel like a solid, thick knife like Cold Steel. It feels more like a little, I don't know, just for me. Again, this is for my opinion. I just didn't care for the ergonomics of it. It felt small in my hand. And I just don't care for that blade shape. So that's the only reason why I don't like Spyderco. Next would be Civivi, and that's just because most of their blades are almost identical. They all look the same type of shape, and again, it follows that same type of like a spear point or drop point, and they're just kind of basic to me. And for the money, I just can't see myself buying them. Rosecraft blades, same thing. They look like they're more for the women. They're like lady knives. They're real small handles. Just not my thing. And again, all of them use really good materials. All of them use, they're all great knives, but just me personally, why I don't care for them. Colors, again, for the Rosecraft, it leads more towards, even the name Rosecraft is more towards like a woman, in my opinion. Not saying they're a bad knife, and for a woman, it'd be great. Throw that in a purse, have a nice little EDC knife, perfect for a woman's hand, nice and small. But just for me, it does none of their designs call out to me like, wow, that's awesome, I want to buy that. Just kind of, they're all just kind of blah. So I'd rather spend my money, my hard-earned money, on something like a Work Tough, a Tops, a Cold Steel, all those type of, the ones that I love, right? If it's something that calls to you, something that's badass, mind you, there's going to be, in the future, there's going to be new ones that I'm like, damn, I love this company, I love this manufacturer. And there's going to be other ones too that I'm like, I don't care for them too much, so, but those are my top three. Honorable mention though, and this might even make it to the top three eventually. The only reason why I didn't this time is because I don't have enough blades to really thoroughly say yes, they're 100% badass or not. But as so far as I'm saying, as just from what I could tell, the one blade I got from them is, and I tested one blade, and the other blade I got, they're awesome quality, but I still need a few more to verify, to really see how badass it is going to have to be the Shade Indonesia. As of right now, I love them. They're awesome. They're right there. It's actually right there within the top three for me, right there. The only reason I didn't put them in is because I got to be honest, and I can't say, oh, they're so badass. I never had anything, because I haven't had that many to judge. Cold Steel, you guys see in my video, I have tons and tons of Cold Steel knives. I probably have 60 Cold Steel knives, and a bunch I tested and reviewed, so I can honestly give my honest opinion on that and give a true opinion, not just off of looks, off of actual use. Same thing with Tops. Same thing with Work Tough. All those I've used. You go back, look at my videos. I've did videos on them, chop stuff, and chop trees down and stuff like that. And never had any issues with them. Slight, even hitting stuff that I shouldn't hit. You just get your strop out or put it through the workshop, and it's back to being like a new knife again. So I know I've tried them. I've tested them. I know they hold up great. So that's why I can give those can be my top three. Again, like I said, eventually, maybe after a few more blades that come my way from Shade Indonesia, I can actually give a better, because as of right now, I tested that one, the Dark Horse 2. You can go back and see that. It's bad. It held up flawlessly. It's badass, but you can't just judge like anything else. You can't judge off of just one experience. I'm gonna have to test a few different ones to actually give my honest opinion on that, to see if it's how it holds up and how it feels, and if each one comes with the same quality as the first one did. Because like I say, every single Work Tough I ever gotten, his fit and finish, sharpness on point. Every single, I would say, and out of the 50, 60 Cold Steels, only like one came still sharp, but not hair popping sharp. Fit and finish on all of them have been great. And Tops, every single one has been on point, sharpness, fit and finish, on point. Out of out of the ones I have. So again, I can't judge too much on the Shade Indonesia. So far, I'm leaning towards it's going to be in that category, but until I get a few more, I can't say too much. So, all right, YouTube, that was it for this one. Please like, subscribe, and until next knife or whatever.